Hello and welcome to our class tonight called Heal It Forward from Anxiety to Action. We're going to get to that class with Mark Scherer in just a moment. Mark is here. Say hi, Mark. Say hi, Mark. Hi, Mark. And before that, I'm going to give you a brief description of what we're going to be getting into tonight. And then we're going to get into that stuff. We're going to have questions to the right. So if you have any questions or comments to the right, if you're watching this on YouTube, you obviously won't be able to ask questions there, but you can ask them below and we can get to you. Or you can find one of us on Facebook and we'll be able to answer your questions there. We're going to start out with a very brief introduction to the miracle plant Moringa. And then we're going to give some testimonials of some of the people in the room that have had experiences with Moringa, because a lot of us are new to it. I've been studying it for many, many years, but taking it daily is pretty new for me, and I know it's new for a lot of people. So we're going to be sharing some testimonials as such, and then we're going to get into some more detailed information about the plant. We're going to talk a little bit more about why this is such an important plant to the health of this country, to the health of the planet, to the future of this planet, why it's a bigger deal than just a plant. It's not just a plant. And then we're going to talk a little bit about the cleanse. It's going to be a very brief description of the cleanse. If you have interest in cleansing with this plant, we do give free consultations for people looking to cleanse. We help you decide what products are right to try first for you according to your budget. So we'll give you a priority list according to your goals and desires, whether you're wanting more energy or sleep or weight loss or whatnot. So we do that. And then we're going to close out this section talking about how we're spreading this word, how that, we're getting compensated to spread this word, and the bigger picture kind of thing. Then I'm going to toss it over to Mark, and he's going to take us through from action to anxiety, which is a really cool course. From anxiety to action. Yes. Well, I'm going to take us from action to anxiety. Mark will get us back over to action.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, great. So the brief introduction to this plant, it is called the Moringa oleifera plant. It's it is my favorite plant to study on the planet. It's a really fun plant to play with, to grow. I've been growing it for about 5 years. Most people have not heard of this plant, but I've been studying it for about 5 years, been growing it. And I had not been taking it daily, though, because it grows about 13 to 15 feet in a year. I've just been so fascinated watching it grow so fast. When I do take a little bit of it, like maybe every other week or so, I'll just take a little bit of it because I don't want to steal from it. But now that I've been taking it daily for about 3 months, it's really changing my life in huge ways. I'm having more focus, more clarity, more happiness. I know this is going to sound funny, but more gratitude. Like, it's really just having me see the world in a different way. And I'm not attributing this all to the Moringa plant as much as the Moringa plant is meeting my nutrient deficiencies. And I'm experiencing the world differently because I'm now nutrient efficient instead of nutrient deficient. So that's happening for a lot of other people. So it's a really exciting plant. We're going to get into the specifics of what the plant has, but that's the basics of the plant. It has a lot of what you would put into multivitamin, or what you would take in normal supplements. I can't tell you to stop taking your supplements and start taking this. What I can tell you is I used to take supplements, and now I just take this one plant for my vitamin supplements. This is all I take for everything I need. And we'll get into why that is what it is when we get into all that's in this one plant. So before we get into that, we're going to start with some testimonials. Who wants to start?
I'll go.
Alexander's going to start. This is our brother Alexander Quinn.
Hey, how's it going? So I've been on this plant for about a week now, and total cleanse, like going to the bathroom more than usual. I notice I'm sweating natural just throughout the day, even in the AC. So I know that there's definitely ejaculation of blood flow, circulation going on. What else? It's very enlightening. Enlightening. Yeah, the plant. I noticed that, I do have awakening moments a lot just from being on it.
You look very enlightened with the lights behind you right now. Look at how this looks, Mark.
Oh, wow. Well, I do a lot of Zen meditation and yoga, and I've noticed that I'll have more of a deep trance state of mindset when I come out of it. So
Nice. Thank you, brother. Martine? Here we are. This is Martine.
Hi, my name is Martin, and I've been on Moringa for about a month and a half, almost 2 months, and I can say there's a notable difference. I used to wake up with aches and pains, usually like back pain. Now it's just not even there anymore. And I wake up, well, not just when I wake up, but throughout my day, I feel more attentive, more alert. And I've been taking the XM Plus, and the caffeine has been amazing. I'm not usually a coffee person, but I definitely love the XM Plus. And I had my experiences from my family that they had different things happen to them. My mom has diabetes, and she's been taking it for over a month, and she couldn't walk for extended periods of time. And now she is doing laps rounds with my sisters when they go around in the park. So that's pretty awesome.
Nice. And the story with your sister?
Oh yeah, this is on a different line. This is on the ripstick supplements, which are also amazing. My sister is not one for fitness and staying active, and she's been getting into that lately. And she has this friend that kind of like eggs her on and gives her options to try new things. And she tried this 5K, and she tried the Ignite, and she was able to keep up with her friend. Even her friend was amazed. I thought it was pretty awesome too.
Excellent. Thank you very much, brother. Now we're going to go to our speaker in a moment, Mr. Mark Scherer. He's been on this. How long have you been on this, Mark?
Not too much now.
Nice.
Yep, big deal for me is I'm not, wow, a lot of light there.
Come this way.
We'll do this. There we go. Yep, so the big difference for me I've noticed is I had some inflammation from a spinal injury, and the inflammation is way gone down over the last 2 months. So a lot more flexibility, a lot more movement.
Nice. Cool. Excellent. And I'll give my testimonial real quick. So I've been taking this about 3 months total. I find that I eat about 70 to 80% less food. I definitely poop a lot more, which is great because, and not to get too weird, but this is a nutrition class. You guys just have to deal with it. The way I know that I'm cleansing my colon, and you guys can do this too if you're cleansing, is when you see a color change. When you have a movement and you see the color change, you know that there's something that is being removed that was compacted before. And I've been seeing a lot of that, a lot of color changing. So I know I'm getting a good cleanse. I feel great. I have more energy. The thing I like best about these products is that there's a lot of knobs you can turn. You can turn the knob on how fast you want to cleanse your colon. You can turn the knob on how much energy you want. And we'll get into how we have the energy and how natural it is and things like that. But you have all these knobs to turn. So it's just very valuable in terms of your health, because you can say, I want to really cleanse my colon in a week, or you can slowly do it in over 8 weeks because, of the way you can ease into this, if that's what you're looking to do. Linda, would you like to share your story on trying to Moringa so far? You prefer not? Either way.
Well, I haven't had that much.
Okay.
Just a couple of days, but you gave me that night,
Yeah.
Friday night. Was it Friday night? That was awesome. I slept
Yeah.
really well. Immediately I felt air in my system. Like my
Awesome.
legs were kind of tingling, and
Okay.
that was,
felt it.
Cool.
yeah.
We'll build you a testimony over the next 30 days. We'll get you on the program.
All right. I'm gonna
okay.
take care.
So there's a few. Oh, we had Claudia just came back in the room. She was making copies. Do you have a testimony you want to share? Okay. This is Claudia Autry.
Hi, everyone. My testimonial, basically, since I've been taking Zija, I've noticed that my mood is really stable. So I don't have that peak or lull after I eat or throughout the day. So it's really nice and stable. And I've also noticed that I'm not as hungry. So I have more energy and I can just keep going throughout my day. So that's been really good. What I've also noticed as I've given it to other people is that they really are able to recover if they have some kind of a night out where they overindulged and they really bounce back the next day. It's been really interesting to hear that, and hear how effective it is for that. Not that I'm promoting that kind of behavior, but it has been really effective.
I'll promote it. You got to retox to detox. Why not? This is phenomenal for hangovers. We'll just say it that way. Leave it at that. I just want to mention a few other quick stories before we move from testimonials. My friend Nora Dykema, who runs a spiritual center in Arkansas, is having an absolute phenomenal cleanse. She's losing the weight she's been struggling to lose for a long time. She gave up her Diet Pepsi addiction in 1 day. It just really helped remove her cravings for that, which is phenomenal. And most fun of all the things she told me was she had, I'm trying to think of how to say this without mentioning a diagnosis. She had pain in her hand that had been around for a long time, and it hurt a lot. I don't want to say the word because FDA-wise, we can't mention diagnosis and say that we've done anything positive for that diagnosis. And when Martine mentioned diabetes, he just said that his mother had diabetes. He didn't say, if you notice, he didn't say that this helped diabetes. But so anyway, the pain in her hand that had been there for a long time went away. And she's a Reiki practitioner, Reiki master. And all of a sudden she said she could feel the Reiki energy like much, much stronger in all of her body. And she could really feel the plant working in that way. So super fun testimonial. Another friend of mine works in a nightclub type situation. And there's a lot of negative energies. And she said she really struggles in general in the past to keep the negative energies away, like to, you know, not let the energies in the room kind of get her down. And at the end of the night, she feels really drained. And she says with this plant or taking the moringa, she's not feeling that anymore. Like she feels like at the end of the night, she feels just as positive without having other people's stuff kind of coming into her field as she did at the beginning of her shift. So that's really cool as well. So a little bit of weird testimonials there, but I love hearing stories like that on top of all the other stories of fast weight loss. You know, one of my buddies from high school went to New Orleans for a bender. New Orleans. I know, right? I'm from Louisiana. I can't say it. I'm turning. I just realized I'm losing my accent. He went to New Orleans for the weekend, and he went on a bender, like we were just talking about. He drank heavily, ate like crap, took a third of the products that he'd been taking during the week, and he came back, he lost 4 pounds. So just a testimony to what you can do with this product. Again, like Claudia said, we're not really recommending that, but it's there, it happens. So now we're gonna get into the plant itself. So I'm gonna share my screen for those of you at home so that we can see a few things about this plant. And there we go. So, and you guys, well, I can show you this now. We're just going to be showing some pictures of the plant and things like that. This is the moringa flower.
That is a pretty
flower. Yeah, lovely flower there. So, Moringa oleifera. The reason it's so powerful is it's the most nutrient-dense botanical. They say it's the most generous botanical on the planet. It has 46 antioxidants. It has 36 anti-inflammatories. The next highest plant has 22. It has omegas 3, 6, and 9. And for those that are really into nutrition, you'll know that omegas 3, 6, and 9 are very hard to get the ratio right, to get the balance of them right. Well, since this is done by Mother Nature and not some scientist trying to get the ratio right, it's perfectly balanced omegas. So there's the omega side. This plant has all 20 amino acids that our body utilizes, including the 9 amino acids that our body doesn't produce. And for those that don't remember high school chemistry or aren't into nutrition, amino acids are the building blocks that we make proteins with. And the proteins are the building blocks that we make DNA with. So if our body doesn't have all of the different ingredients, a la amino acids, to create all the DNA, because remember, each time your cells replicate, your body has to reproduce all that DNA each time. Well, what happens when your body doesn't have all the right aminos to reproduce all these DNAs? Well, this is when we have mutations and cancers. Can I say that legally? I'm not talking about products. Yeah, I can say that. Yeah, there's mutations which cause things like tumors and cysts and cancers. I'm just talking about general information. I'm not talking about what Zija does or doesn't do. So I'm pretty sure I can say that. So that's why amino acids are so critical. But this product also has over 90 nutrients. It actually has 92 nutrients and vitamins. So it's very nutrient dense. People on this planet, especially in America, have 2 major issues going on, right? They're low in nutrient density, or low in nutrients, so they have nutrient deficiencies, and they're high in toxins. Well, it just so happens that this plant is super, super high in nutrients, and it's really great at removing toxins. So that's why this plant seems to fit so well as a daily supplement for people. Not only does it have all the things that your body needs to get you to that yummy feeling that the body really could be having all the time if you were nutrient efficient, but it also is great at removing toxins. And, you know, like people mentioned, that it starts with cleansing the colon. Okay, so we've covered that. And so now we get into ORAC value, the oxygen radiance absorption capacity test. Moringa is super, super high in ORAC scale. And for those watching at home, y'all can see this. I'll show you guys here as well. This just is comparing Moringa to spirulina and barley and goji and mangosteen, wheatgrass. These are all things that are known for their high ORAC value. We're not comparing this to a bunch of plants that that aren't known for being great antioxidants. We are comparing Moringa to things that are known for being like super, super high on the ORAC scale, and showing you that Moringa is just way higher. So that's super valuable, by the way. And if you're into, you know, ORAC for those that have been to some of our essential oils classes, we talk about how clove oil is so high on the ORAC scale. So if you're really looking for antioxidants, you can look into the essential oils as well, which this company, by the way, we're not going to cover the oils today because that's not this class. We have other classes for essential oils. But this company has 3 basic product lines. We have Zija is everything Moringa. We have over 30 products with the Moringa plant. We have Ameo is the essential oils, and then Ripsticks is the supplements. Just to give a brief overview of that. And so now we're going to get into the products and how they all work together and how the cleanse works. I'm going to do a very brief introduction to the cleanse. So this is the cleansing products we're going to be talking about. We're going to start with the nutritionals, which are these 3. And then we're going to get into the pills and the teas. And this is the meal replacement, the whey protein. So I'm going to come off of screen share now. Stop the screen share and readjust here so that you can see. Oh no, can't see that very well. Claudia, do we have a darker pen, darker marker maybe? Is maybe in that other room? Okay, so I'm going to be writing some things on the board in a moment here. So in terms of the cleanse, there's basically 5 steps. There's a nutritional, there's 2 pills, and then there's 2 teas. So we're going to be going through those right now. Is that darker? Oh, perfect. Yeah. Okay. So we're going to be going through the steps of the cleanse. Now remember, if you're looking to cleanse and you're not sure what products to start with and you have a budget to work within, get with one of our coaches and we will help you decide which products to start with and what's the best fit for you. Even if you have a small budget, you know, the teas are $39 for a combo pack. You get the premium and the daily in the same box. So you can start at any level here. Okay, so we're going to start with the nutritionals. Make sure you guys can see me. Yeah, you can see that. So in the nutritionals, the first step is going to be to get our nutrition in the body. You know, we're going to get our cells nutrient efficient so that as we're toxic cleansing, we're not going to be, you know, tearing toxins away from our cells without our cells being in a healthy state. So the first step is to get a nutrition in our body. We have 3 different nutritional powders. We have the Super Mix. I like to remember this as Superman flies alone. So the Super Mix is, I'm going to move this a little closer so y'all can see it.
Your nutrition needs a T.
Yeah.
Nutrient.
Oh, I spelled that wrong. Nutritionals.
Nutrionals.
I'm missing a T and an I. So y'all are going to just have to live with that. Nutritionals. So they can't even see it at home. It's so far away. So it was perfect.
So pretend that it's spelled right.
So this says nutritional. So Super Mix is Superman flies alone. It's only Moringa. It's 9,000 milligrams of Moringa. So if you really want to try out this plant, this is the one to try out. The Super Mix is the one a lot of people start with. Smart Mix is a really Great one if you want to have a couple other things. So it's smart to travel in threes. So this one has moringa. It has a very similar box. It has moringa. It has chicory root. Chicory root is really good for appetite suppression. It's good for mood enhancement. And it has hishiwu. Hishiwu is a really fascinating plant that it's indigenous to China. And it means he who grew his hair back, or that's how the story goes. And you can search hishiwu. Oh yeah, that'll be fun. So we'll pass this around the room in a while. But the hishiwu roots grow to look like humans. So it's super fun. You can search this on the internet and find out more about this plant. It's HE space SHOU space WU. And for those in the nutrition and searching ingredients a lot, this is also called FOTI, F-O-T-I, same thing. So this plant is good for a number of different things,
You said that's
including appetite suppression. What's that?
That's in the super mix.
Smart Mix. Superman flies alone, only moringa in the Super Mix. Smart Mix has those three things. And then the third one we have is called XM Plus. XM and all the products we're going to be talking about means extreme moringa. The plus means caffeine. Thank you for that, by the way. So XM Plus is if you want caffeine in your nutritional. Now the caffeine is green coffee bean extracted. It's organic, non-acidic. So it's from the green coffee bean. So for those that know about the raw movement, this hasn't been roasted or cooked. This is a raw form of caffeine. I, myself, as a health coach and someone who's been studying nutrition for 5 years, I have no issues with caffeine. Some people do. If you have an issue with caffeine, don't take the XM Plus. We have a lot of different products with caffeine in it, but they're all based on the green coffee bean extracted caffeine. So it's a very organic way to get that into your diet and add your energy. XM Plus energy. Now, if you are into meal replacements, if you like meal replacements, we have a shake that is called XM Protein. It's also called Prime 90, same shake. It's based on whey protein. It's the only product in all of our product lines that is not vegan. So if you are strict vegan and you don't do whey protein, then you should stay away from this one. So if you do want to choose a meal replacement, which again is optional, then you could do, instead of one of these three, you could do the Prime 90 or XM Protein, same thing. So you would pick one of these four options. This is one of these four options, and that's our first step. That's getting our nutrition into the cells, okay? So the second step, can't go backwards any. The second step is gonna be, it's cool. I'm gonna write smaller, I got it. So the second step, you're cutting off my head.
Sorry.
Okay.
I can pull it back a little.
It's fine, got it. The second step is going to be the pills. So the pills we're going to use for appetite suppression and for mood enhancement. So we're going to have an XM AM, which we can do obviously in the morning, the AM. That has a little bit of caffeine in it. So if you're not into caffeine, you can just do the XM PM. The XM PM we take in the evening, and it has ashwagandha, it has red sea kelp, it has a lot of things that help to reduce the cortisol level in the body. So it's really good at reducing stress. But if you're looking to stay away from caffeine and you want to be taking a pill in the morning and a pill in the evening, you would just take the XM PM in the morning and in the evening. So if you're thinking, wait a second, that's going to put me to sleep if I take it in the morning, no, it's just going to calm your mind down. The XM PM calms the mind, which helps you sleep. If you happen to have one of those things that doctors love to prescribe these days where your focus is really sharp, so that you see everything like the squirrel, they say it's a lack of focus. I think it's super sharp focus when you see the squirrel and you notice the different things in your peripheral. So if you have issues around staying focused on a computer though and trying to stay focused on work, XMPM would be a very good product to try day and night. But I like caffeine for focus, so you could do XMAM in the morning, XMPM in the evening. That's your choice. If you're looking for way more energy and faster weight loss, you can then replace your XMAM in the morning with XM Burn. XM Burn is really intense. XM Burn has got Garcinia cambogia, which is a really great appetite suppression and energy booster. XM Burn is really awesome at really cranking up your metabolism, getting those mitochondria in the cell like really cranking and burning up fast. Like if you're in a weight loss contest at work, you want to be cranking the XM burn. This can be too much energy for some people. It can be reserved for people that are working out. You can try it and see if it's too much for you during the day to take it. If it's too much, you can back off. But so XM burn is a great way to replace your XM AM. So this is going to be XM AM or XM burn, depending on how much energy you want to add to your routine. And then you're going to have XM PM, which will be your XM PM, which will be your evening pill. So again, that's 2 pills. That's your second step. This is step 1. This is step 2. The third step, and the final. Oh, before I move on to that, so if you're wanting even more energy, but the XM burn is a pill, and you're like, well, I want to be able to monitor my energy. I want to be able to turn the knob up and down. You would go with what's called XM3. XM3 is in liquid form. It looks like one of those little hourly energy things you can get at the store, and you get 2 servings of it. It's incredibly powerful, but now we're in liquid form, so you can sip it and take it slowly, and you have that knob to turn, right? So it's a little bit easier in that you can do a half a serving, and you know, if you need some more, you can take more later. Whereas the XM burn, if you take the pill, you took the pill, and it's either too much or not enough. Yeah, that's good enough for that. So last step is going to be the teas. So we have 2 teas. We have a daily tea, and we have a premium tea. Can anyone tell me which one we take during the day?
Daily.
So we're going to take the daily tea during the day. And I can almost see that so close. Yeah, they can see that. So the daily tea, thank you. The daily tea we're going to take during the day. And it's going to help with appetite suppression. It's going to help with toxin removal, but it's not as intense as the premium tea. The premium tea is the one that we really want to warn people about, because if you don't know what you're doing with the premium tea and you steep it for too long and drink too much of it, it's not going to hurt you, but you will have a lot of moving experiences. So I like knobs to turn. You've heard me say that word a few times. We like to have a knob to turn. We have a great knob to turn with the premium tea. How long you steep it and how much you drink. So what I recommend is steep it for a long time, like 30 minutes, to get all the bang for your buck, like get all the yumminess out of the tea into the water, and then just take it easy at first. You know, drink a half a cup for your first night doing it, and then take a night off the following night, and then come back to it, and maybe drink 3/4 of a cup and slide into it like that. Now, if you want to just get really serious and do 2 cups on your first night, that's okay, but we don't really recommend that. We want people to take it a little bit slower, because it will, like they say, it's your alarm clock. It'll probably wake you up in the morning and have you have a movement. Again, if you're in that contest at work, premium tea could be your best friend. This is for, you know, super fast cleansing of the colon. And, you know, why do we cleanse the colon first? I mean, this moringa plant naturally, as you're going through this cleanse, it's going to cleanse your whole entire being of toxins, including your organs, your brain, your blood. But why does the plant start with the colon? Or how does it know to? Well, how does it know to? I'm not sure. But why does it start with the colon? Because when you're doing a cleanse, you want to first get out all the stuff in your garage. Like, right, you want to clean out your garage so that when you clean out your house, now you can put stuff in your clean garage. And then if it needs to be in the garage sale and go out next, the garage is already clean. So you want to get that colon cleansed first, the first step of the cleanse. So there's something else I wanted to say about that. Hold on just a second. Yeah, so the other thing that's cool about getting the colon cleansed is it's connected to the stomach. So if you're having any stomach issues, I would bet a lot of money that you're having issues with a compacted colon. So when you get rid of all the things that are in your colon, then your stomach will start behaving better and not hurting as much, not having the issues it was having before, more than likely. Now the stomach is associated with the immune system, right? So when the stomach is out of order, the immune system's out of order. When the immune system's out of order, your body's spending all this time to fight off little diseases and bugs and viruses and bacteria. You may not even know about it. You may not be getting sick, but your immune system may be working overtime to keep you healthy. And when your body's spending so much energy doing that, it's not going to have the energy to help itself remove toxins and things like that. So over time, you're going to collect toxins because your body's not been spending the proper energy and toxin removal because it's too busy trying to keep you healthy. The other thing is, as we're cleansing with the Moringa plant, you're going to find that we don't tell you to eat less food, but you're going to find that you're going to be eating less and less food because you're going to have less and less hunger. This is not an unnatural reaction to this cleanse. This is a normal thing that happens when you give your cells everything they need. So as you give your cells what they desire, what they've been asking for, all of a sudden it gets really easy to make better food choices because you don't have those carb cravings. You don't have those, really, really intense cravings for a sugar or a brownie. So it just makes it really easy. And as a toxic cleanse coach, thank you for this. As a toxic cleanse coach, it's wonderful for me because I don't have to tell people to get off of certain foods. The plant's going to help them to change their cravings and reduce their desires for different funky foods like brownies and sugary things. And I want to just go through real quick. The way the body burns through calories, but I think this is important. There's step 3, by the way, and that's the steps of the cleanse. I think this is important to touch on in this class because if you get this and you understand this, you'll understand cravings and how this plant does what it does. So the body basically burns calories in this order. It burns carbs first. I spelled that wrong and I didn't. It burns fat second. And then it burns protein. If we're in a protein burning mode, we're in trouble. Our body's trying to keep us alive by burning through our muscles and whatnot. So if our body is having too many carbs being fed to it, which most people on the planet have, especially Americans, we have way too much bread in our diet. Bread, turns out, is just not the greatest invention, unless it's gluten-free and all that jazz. But if we have too many carbs in our diet, what are we going to crave? Our body's burning carbs. What do we crave? Water? Well, maybe because we're unhealthy. But when we're burning carbs, our body's going to crave carbs. So when we're in sugar burning mode, our body's going to crave sugars. The good news is if we can get off the carbs and our body is not having any carbs to burn, now we go into fat burning mode, which is called ketosis. This is the beautiful part about cleansing. When you move into fat burning mode, this is that buzz that people talk about when they get, when they're doing a cleanse. But this is the feeling that our bodies are supposed to be feeling all the time. I mean, we're meant to operate in fat burning mode. Most of us just have way too many carbs to ever get there. I mean, literally ever. We operate in adrenaline mode, carb burning mode all the time. Like I like to say, it's really great when you're being chased by a bear. It's really great when your kid gets stuck under a car. But if those things aren't happening, you're at work, sitting in your cubicle, and you're like, is there a bear chasing me? Is my kid stuck under a car? Like, what's going on? Like, there's something, there's imminent danger because your body's in adrenaline mode. So when you can get out of adrenaline mode and get into fat burning mode, it feels super, super yummy. Okay, so I guess that's all I had to say about the cleanse itself. Let me see. Does anyone have any questions on the cleanse and how the cleanse works and the steps of the cleanse and whatnot? Like I said, we do consultations with people on figuring out what's right for you specifically, but that's the basics of the cleanse. Any questions from here? Or for those watching at home, if you're not on YouTube, if you're watching the live class, you can type questions to the right. I am keeping an eye on that. No questions on that? Okay, cool. So now I'm going to talk a little bit about the other products that we have, just to mention them. We mentioned Ameo essential oils. These are the, and by the way, Zija International is the parent company, and they have 4 product lines. They have everything, Moringa is the Zija product line. There's over 30 products based on the Moringa plant. The Gin M facial and skincare line is, the basis of that product line is the Moringa oil. The Moringa oil is extracted from the seeds. We can't put that in the cleanse and the consumables because Moringa oil, turns out, is too detoxifying. It's too fast of a detox. So we can't really put that in the consumables in this cleanse, but it happens to be super, super great at anti-aging and at skin repair, at cellular repair. So we put it in the skincare line and it works really, really great. Oh, there's Gabriel. So that's the skincare line, and that's Zija. Zija is all of these products. Every one of these products has moringa in it, including all the products with the skincare line, including the body oil and the Zija oil, which is the straight moringa. Yeah, go ahead, watch the cord. Yeah. Howdy. So the second product line is in the same company, is called Ameo essential oils. Now, Ameo essential oils are the first clinical grade oils on the planet. And to put that very simply, to give a summary of what that means, there's some other great oil companies that I still love and I still admire what they're doing and what they're about, because their standards for purity are second to none. They have extremely pure oils. I would drink them any day of the week. If someone, Mark just had one of the oils in his pocket. I took a shot of it while Martine was giving his testimonial. Love these oils. Their standards are about purity. Ameo decided that they were going to set a standard called clinical. And instead of, therapeutic grade, which these other companies have set, and they held themselves to a purity standard, we're setting a clinical grade, and we're going to hold ourselves to this clinical grade. All these standards are made up, right? These companies are making up these standards and hold themselves to it. What clinical grade means is that this company looked at over 11,000 clinical studies done with essential oils. Well, when somebody does a clinical study on essential oils, they make sure it's the best of the best, purest of the purest, cleanest of the clean. And they looked at all of the positive results from all of these studies and looked at the constituents that were in these oils used for these tests. So in other words, if it was frankincense, what percent linol, what percent carboxylic, or all the different things that are in frankincense, what percentage constituents. So it's not just based on purity. They're basing this on all of our oils are going to be at least as good or better than all of the oils used in all of these clinical studies. Does that make sense? So I could have the very pure frankincense and it passes all the purity standards, but when I go to try to sell it to Ameo, they're going to fail it because it didn't have the right percentage of the right constituents. So it's just another standard to hold yourself to. I find that the oils are incredible. We've been having a lot of success with them. They also have what's called super carriers, which are great at getting the oils into the cell. And they also have a phenomenal hormone balancing products called AGX Men and AGX Women. That's some groundbreaking technology, but again, another class, we'll get into that. And then we have Ripsticks. Ripsticks is the third product line. This is based around workouts and recovery and hydration. There's only 4 products. There's Ignite, which is extreme energy. That's probably the highest energy product in all of our product line. Fuel is for fuel for working out. Recovery is obvious for recovery from working out. It's also good for hangovers. And then Hydrate. Hydrate is great for replacing Capri Suns and sodas for kids and things like that. Huge amounts of electrolytes and whatnot in that product. So phenomenal product lines across the board. That is Zija, the bigger company. The movement that we are now a part of, the Moringa Movement, is mostly about educating people about this plant. Like our first step when we introduce people to this plant is to show them the Discovery Channel documentary on it. And if you haven't seen it, I highly recommend it. I thought about showing it on this class, but it's just going to run long. But it's a 13-minute documentary. You can search. You can go to drinklifein.com and go to Media Center and then Company. And Media Center and then, Media Center Company and then Moringa Documentary. If you want a shorter version of it, if you only have 5 minutes to spare, you can go to massiveresults.com and watch a 5-minute condensed version of that documentary. But it's just a phenomenal documentary showing that this is a bigger deal than just helping a bunch of soccer moms trim their thighs. This is about getting nutrition to people that are dying. This is about, changing hunger as we know it on this planet. This plant is a much bigger deal than just getting a bunch of people through a cleanse and yeah, I lost 20 pounds, but this can literally change what we know of and what we're considering to be the hunger crisis and all these people starving. They're already bringing Zija to these starving places and having phenomenal results. And you'll see some of that in the documentary. Well, you'll see in the documentary about Moringa, but they're specifically bringing Zija. Now, why is Zija the Moringa that you want to play with, in my opinion, if you want my recommendation? Well, it's because most of the Moringas you'll find out there are leaf powders. Nothing wrong with leaf powder. Leaf powder Moringa is great. But most of these companies, maybe not all, I'm not sure, most of them sun dry their leaves and then, you know, ground it up into a powder. We shade dry ours because if you're really into health, you'll know that everything's about protecting the enzyme. That's what the whole raw food movement is about, right? Protect the enzyme. So we dry our leaves in shade so that they don't have the sun that damages the enzymes. And we're not just using the leaf. Our product's the only one I've ever seen on the market that uses not only the leaf, but the seed cake, remember, minus the oil. They take the oil out and use that to make the skin and facial lines. And then it also has the flower and the fruit powder. So we have all the different, not all, but a lot of the different parts of the plant in one powder in these nutritionals. So it's a much better way to get this plant into your body, because if you watch the documentary, you'll see that each different part of the plant has a different function. And when you put all the different parts of this plant together, it's just magic happens. I mean, one quick example is they're using the seed cake from this plant to filter water in other countries. And they're taking, you know, horrible water and running it through the seed cake, and it's removing all these different toxic substances and funky stuff. And for those people that are fed up with the government putting fluoride in our water, yep, it removes fluoride too. Super cool. Yeah. Yeah, so I mean, this plant is just miraculous, and I've been putting people on it for about 3 months. Our team's been getting more and more people trying it. The more people we put on it, the more amazing stories we have coming back. I mean, the only story I've heard of anything other than positive is minor headaches, which, you know, generally more of the nutritional and more hydration can resolve. And we had, yeah, some tummy aches. Good, thank you. There is the opportunity for tummy aches in some people. It's one of the only not positive effects of taking Moringa. And if you have that happening, it's a great thing. Please don't stop taking Moringa because your tummy hurts. What that means is you had some precursors or current cursors for stomach ulcers, and this is killing the bacteria. The flora, what? Pylori?
Pylori.
It's something pylori bacteria.
H.
pylori. H. pylori, yeah. So it's killing that bacteria in your stomach.
Well, no.
Yeah. What? Go ahead.
Yeah, no, you don't. In that instance, there's a reaction to that, so you wouldn't want to take it in that case.
What do you mean?
Pylori, don't take it.
No, you do want to take it for it. Trust me on this one. Yeah, what happens is when you're feeling that pain in the body, it's your body killing off the H. pylori, and that shows up as stomach pain. And we had a really intensive discussion with Zach about that. And when you're having that pain, you definitely don't want to. You might want to back off of it and go in a little bit slower. Or if you're having severe pain, you can back off it altogether and then go back. Instead of a full packet, you may want to go back slowly. So yeah, that may have been what you heard. And then you step it up slowly. But if it was me personally, I would crank it up. I would double the dose. I would want to kill that bacteria off as quick as possible. So if that is the case, phenomenal that you found it. Lucky, thank your lucky stars that you found Moringa when you did, and keep taking it to the degree that you do. And if you have interest in cleansing in this way, by the way, please get with the person that sent you to this video or sent you to this Google Hangout and ask them to either do an analysis with you to determine what products will be best for you, or hook you up with one of our team that can help support them in that way. If you're having any issues with your cleanse at all, please just reach out to the person that got you on the cleanse, and we have plenty of nutritional folks on our team that can help walk you through the different steps. In general, this is way less intense than most cleanses. I mean, most cleanses, I remember a cleanse I used to put people on, I'd say less than 5% of the people out there have enough willpower to be on that cleanse, just because it's so many steps and you have to starve yourself and be on all liquids. This cleanse, we don't tell people to give up anything. I mean, if you're cleansing, do you want to give up, fast food, processed food, canned food? Sure. But this is going to change your habits, because it's going to change your cravings, and it's going to change your hunger, which is going to allow you to have much better food choices. It's really easy to make good food choices when you have no cravings, like you can just choose the right foods, especially when you're at the grocery store. You're making all your decisions at the grocery store and you're not having all those sugar cravings while you're making those decisions. Just makes everything go really easy. And so this is a super easy beginner's cleanse. And if you've been cleansing a long time, I invite you to cleanse with this, because you may be very surprised at how easy cleansing can be. It doesn't have to be hard. That's what I love about this. From a cleanse coaching perspective, it's awesome. You know, I mean, it's like I used to get on the phone with people and they would cry in my ear because they were going through so much emotional stuff and the starvation, and they couldn't. I was like, you got it, you got this. You know, your willpower, you can do this, you can do this. I don't do any of that anymore. I send them a text. How you feeling? Amazing. Oh my God, I lost another 3 pounds. Like, so this is the easiest coaching I've ever done for putting people on cleanses. Okay, that's what I have for cleansing. Any other questions that have come up about this or how this works since I've been chatting?
Good job.
Thanks, brother. Okay, so now we're going to move into a little bit more about the movement before I introduce Mark. So the Moringa movement is really powerful. This company, Zija, is in 55 countries. We're spreading the word as fast as we can. What this movement is basically about is, you know, educating people about this plant and then helping them decide which products are right for them. You know, if there's a question on whether Zija is the right type of moringa, do your research. You'll easily find that this is absolutely the best forms of moringa on the planet. No other company has anywhere near the amount of products with moringa in it and the amount of types of different parts of the tree in it. So super valuable. If you're looking to be involved in this movement and create an income, basically what we do is we share the documentary. We ask people what they like about it. We hook them up with a consultation through ourselves or one of our support team to help them figure out what products are right for them. And then we touch base with them and we check in with them and see how amazing they're feeling. When they're feeling amazing, we ask them if they'd like to share it like we do. They either say yes or no. If they don't, that's great. If they do, that's great. And the movement continues. And this is moving very fast. This company is absolutely exploding. They're number 504 on the Fortune 500. In the last, what was it? At the end of last year, they had grown over 900%. This company's been around since 2005, but in 2015, they will double in size. So if that tells you anything about the momentum of a company and you know, when you want to get involved, this is when you want to get involved in this movement. 99% of people in America, at least, do not have any idea what moringa is. And this is the most important plant on the planet, in my opinion, in terms of getting the body what it needs. So would I share this for free? That's the question I always ask myself. You know, when you're talking about a job or a career, would I share this for free? Heck yeah, I would, because I did. I was telling people about this plant for 5 years before I found this company 3 months ago. So for me, I know that I would because I was. And I think most people that'll do their research on moringa will find that they will share it for free. And if you're having a question like, well, I wonder if it's good for this, or I wonder if it's good for that. I don't want to name diagnosis, but you can put that diagnosis and put moringa in your Google search, and I almost guarantee you'll find something on it, probably clinical research. This plant is extremely well researched from a clinical side. There's a lot of doctors know a lot about this plant, not necessarily in America. In Hawaii, they say if you see a moringa plant in the yard, it's like a Filipino flag. Like in the Philippines, this is huge. You know, they know about this. In India, they know about this. This is common knowledge in a lot of countries. And it's just, the knowledge is just getting out to the rest of the planet. And our team that we've assembled here, a lot of us here, are ready to share that message and get the word out on this plant. So there you go. There's our message. If you want to join us, please do. We'll be happy to train you. There's a lot of good training on how to do this. The website I mentioned earlier, massiveresults.com. You can go to training. You can see the training before you get started, see if it resonates. If that training doesn't resonate, though, we have other trainings online. We teach people how to do this. It's really super simple. If you make it difficult, it will be. If you make it simple, it will be. Okay, I'm gonna introduce Mark in a second. So if you're at home and you would like a free course called The Big Equals, Mark is offering that to anyone watching this. And is this available for the YouTube watchers or just the live watchers? Anybody watching this at any time, Mark is going to send you a free audio called The Big Equals. Put equals in the subject line of the email and remind Mark that that's what you're sending an email for. His email is mark@newearthcenter.com. That's mark@newearthcenter.com. And he'll send you that free audio. It's super powerful stuff. So Mark Scherer is a good buddy of mine, good friend, and a mentor and a teacher. He has been in workshops. I've hosted some of them at the farm. He teaches he teaches a system called Mastery Systems, which has conscious language, sacred body language translations, Body electronics is the energy work, and biooptic calligraphy, which is similar to iridology, but a little bit different. And so, what's that?
Way different.
Way different? Okay. So those are the mastery systems things and this is through Bob Stevens' work, Robert Tennyson Stevens. For those that come to me and say, I'm just getting into this, spiritual stuff and personal growth, like, what do you recommend? I say, look at the mastery systems platform, because they put all the things together. And with these 4 different things that mastery systems puts together, it's a very, very powerful way to transform your life, to change your life, change your language, change your story, change your life. It's phenomenal stuff. So Mark's one of my favorite people on the planet. He was his interview on The Ridiculous Hour had the most positive feedback of any interview I've ever done, that at least feedback I've heard. And this is including a Teal Swan interview we did that's been viewed by over 30,000 people. So thank you for doing this for us, Mark. I really appreciate you, and I'm grateful for you for donating your time to offer this class. I know you charge for classes like this normally, but you've offered to help out our movement and help us to get from anxiety to action. So, ladies and gentlemen, Mark Scherer. All right. The dog is fired up. Get him.
How we doing?
Okay.
All right. All right. Everything cool? Dude?
Yep, we're good.
Plug in?
Yep, we're good.
All right. So I'm doing a class called Anxiety to Action, and if you would like to have the handout, you can also email me, and I'll make sure that you guys get the handout for this as well. And with permission, we'll do this experiential with the group here, if everybody has permission to do that. I'll lead this class and have experiential experiences here rather than just reading this. We can do it experiential. Is that cool with you guys?
That's fine.
So cool. And has anybody had anxiety in their lives? Have you been a little frozen with it maybe?
Yes.
Yes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Overwhelmed.
Anxiety.
A little overwhelmed. So for me too, when I got involved with this particular system, one of my things that I was terrified to do was to speak in front of groups. Meaning, like, I would soak through a shirt speaking in front of a group for a 3-minute speech. Now I lead classes the longest class I lead is a 5-day class with virtually no notes. And it's for me, I had a speech impediment as a child. And if I said a word incorrectly, my dad would pop me. So I had this voice every time I would try to speak of, am I going to say it right? What are people going to think of me? And all that self-dialogue was keeping me frozen in my life. I've done a lot of studying with different masters over the last 20 years, and I got involved with a guy by the name of Robert Tennyson Stevens about 6 years ago. And with Robert's system, within a very short period of time, the voice in my head quieted down, and I was able to speak in front of groups. And so what I did is with Joseph here, he said that he'd been working with people, and some people have been kind of frozen on, don't know how to ask people to sign up for Moringa or get involved with the system, and like, how am I going to do this, and all that worry and self-dialogue. So what I did was I documented a system of stair-stepping your way through it, self-coaching your way through it. And that's what I came up with this class for you guys. So anybody, I can kind of read through this. It says, in our daily lives, each one of us may feel a variety of feelings. Some of us may experience as pleasurable and others painful. The painful ones we don't want, and the pleasurable ones we do want. This roller coaster of not wanting and wanting keeps us from being present in a moment. Living in the wanting or wishing is living in the illusion of past and future. And when we live in the now, any of our belief or avoidance of now is a lie wrought with pain and suffering. So what does that mean for us now? So how many, let's do this. I'll work with people on this. So how many got a little bit of anxiety going on about something? Yes? And what's your name?
Cameron.
Cameron, what's your anxiety about?
I have it randomly, and it's like, I don't know what it's associated with.
Okay.
So I've learned to kind of like, like kind of like that system kind of center myself, but every now and then it comes back.
Okay, so if you go through this thing, the first thing we got to do is got to get really specific about what your anxiety is about. And even the word, can you see okay, dude?
Yep. Are you okay
So-
being on camera? Okay.
So anxiety, if you go, I feel anxiety, say I feel anxiety.
I feel like that.
I say I feel fear.
I feel fear.
Which one's up in your head and which one's in your body?
Neither.
Try it again.
I feel anxiety. I feel fear.
Which one do you feel?
Anxiety.
Anxiety is actually up in your head. It's a mental construction. Whenever you're in your mind up here, like anxiety is going to come across as like worry about the future or fear about the future, but it's going to be a layer further down. Anxiety is something that you made up, and it's all up in your head. And the reason why people get stuck in it because we haven't dealt with what's really happening in our body. So what do you feel anxiety about? I'm going to go back to anxiety. What do you feel anxiety about?
I guess deadlines, stuff like that.
Okay. So everybody, what does his head do when he said that?
No.
Said no. So it means it sounds good, it means you haven't touched it yet. Your body's going to always tell the truth. What you're talking about, what you're doing nutritionally is preparing your body, getting your body up to the proper level of nutrition. Whenever we're stressed, it depletes our body of nutrients. So we start going into this downward spiral. And you can do the plants and do support and bring your nutritional level up. But if you don't stop talking to yourself the way that you've been talking to yourself, you keep going back into the downward spiral. So with this particular system, it's like instead of detoxing from the plant and then retoxing with the way that we speak to ourselves, what happens when you continuously do the detox with the plant and also start putting in positive words to yourself? How does that work? What happens instead of doing the detox and retox, what happens if you continuously detox? And what's your name again?
Cameron.
Cameron. So on a scale of 1 to 10, Cameron, how happy are you?
9.8, I guess.
Cool. So what if I was to share with you that 9.8 is really awesome, but there's another scale above the scale that you're currently on, and this is a logarithmic scale. So this next scale is going to be 10 times the amount of emotion that you feel currently. So your 9.8 on this scale is going to be a 0.98 on this scale. And for you to go up to this continuously line of moving upscale in more and more enthusiasm and more action and more love in your life, you got to get out of your box of what's currently possible here to go to the next scale. And then there's going to be a scale above that one that's going to be 10 times that. It's going to be 100 times more. So when you go 10 times the amount of love and enthusiasm that you currently have in your life, what will be different for you in your life?
A whole lot of happiness.
What's that again?
A whole lot of happiness.
Say it again.
A whole lot of happiness.
Say it again.
A whole lot of happiness.
And who would feel a whole lot of happiness?
Me and the people around me.
Okay. Now let's put that in a complete sentence.
I would feel a whole lot of happiness and the people around me would also.
Now get rid of the would.
I feel a whole lot of happiness and so do the people around me.
Say it again.
I feel a whole lot of happiness and so do the people around me.
Say it again.
I feel a whole lot of happiness and so do
And who are the people around you that would feel a lot of happiness?
you guys and people that I come in contact with.
Did his head say no again? Did his head say no again? Thanks. He said, people around me? He shook his head no. You see that? So who would you really like to see happy in your life?
Get some family members.
I guess. Which family member specifically? We're playing hardball with him, yes?
He can handle it. He's a tough kid.
My parents.
You get a little toasty over here. You get a little toasty over there? A little warm?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My parents, my girlfriend, I guess, and I got some
Now notice how the girlfriend, he skipped over that one really quick. Yeah.
Well, he said family.
Guy over here going, I'm glad it's not me.
Well, he said family, so I'm gonna throw it in there too.
So I'm happy.
Sorry?
I am happy.
I am happy.
And so is my girlfriend.
So is my girlfriend.
Say it again.
I am happy, and so is my girlfriend.
Say it again.
I am happy, and so is my girlfriend.
Say it again.
I am happy, and so is my girlfriend.
So can you feel that becomes,
Feeling that escalation, yeah.
yeah. Now say I feel anxiety.
I feel anxiety.
Can you feel that?
Yeah.
Now say I feel fear.
I feel fear.
You can feel fear, but you still have those anxieties doing this, and fear actually has power in it. Get it?
Yeah.
So this is going to take everything out of mental construction and put it into your body. When it's in your body, you can actually do something with it. But we're talking in this handout. We're talking about how many of y'all remember when y'all were learning how to drive? Remember, like learning how to drive, like oh my gosh, like really, really tough, right? Like really, 10 and 2, or actually 1. But you're learning how to drive, and you have a tough time, and you have to really consciously think about how to do it, right? Now, how many of y'all ladies, how many of y'all can drive and put on makeup and talk on the cell phone? And virtually every female in
And
here.
steer with my knee.
Yeah.
It's so scary.
And not even realize how you got from one place to the other, right? Okay. So what happened is you took it in your conscious mind, consciously learned how to drive, then went into your body, your subconscious, and now it's automatic, right? Yes?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Now, what we're going to, with this particular system, whatever's going on in your world right now is going on because it's in your subconscious, in your unconsciousness, and that unconscious feeling world is producing the results in your life. And you're like, oh my God, I'm so afraid to go talk to make a phone call to enroll people in doing something. I'm terrified to make the phone call because you find out why. Maybe because I'm afraid I'm going to be rejected. Maybe they're not going to like me. Maybe they're whatever. They have all this stuff made up in your head. And the thing about that, all that stuff made up in your head, it creates a feeling in your body of fight or flight, takes you out of your higher reasoning power. Everybody know that one, yes? It's like Joseph was talking about, like if a bear is chasing you, or if you're afraid to make a phone call, your body's going to react the same way, yes? Or your girlfriend going, right? Getting over here, yeah? So whatever's going on in your subconscious in that pattern, you don't even think about it. It's just automatic response. So what I do is, and just classes we're doing about, is how do you change your automatic response to being one of effective action rather than reactive action. Do you feel the difference with that, man? Imagine if you had how many people have been in a habit of surviving? Yes, on some level, yeah? And what if that's just a habit, right? And with this particular system, what if you can change that into a habit of thriving? What would happen for you? How much more confidence would you have? How much more ease would you have with talking to people? And we got ghosts coming in.
I know, we just opened that door.
Questions, guys, so far? Anybody got questions?
I agree with you that we're here to thrive.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you stay on that path?
Okay. So say, how do you stay on that path? So what you just said again.
Oh, okay.
So just say what you just said again. Just say what you just said again.
How do you stay on that path?
Okay. So who's a you? Who's a you?
How does one stay on that path?
Okay. So who's the one? Ooh.
How do I stay on that path?
Okay. Now notice the difference.
Okay.
Okay. Say how do you? Say how do you?
How do you?
I say how does one?
How does one?
I say how do I?
How do I?
Feel the difference? Yes or no?
Yeah.
What happens?
Well, the I is directed all centered around me.
Cool. Even now say everybody say I. Now say myself.
Myself.
Now say me.
Me.
Which one do you feel the most?
Me.
Is it that?
Me.
Cool.
Yeah. So me.
So you think they're all the same, yeah? Like, sound real similar? I myself,
think they're not.
what's that again?
I think they're not.
But myself and me sounds real familiar. You can probably look up in a dictionary and the meaning is gonna be really similar, yes? Yeah, but everybody say me.
Me.
Feel the difference?
Powerful.
Really, yes? So, say the money.
D-money.
I say my money.
My money.
Notice how, I even said it slower and the room got louder, right? Say, I have a girlfriend for Mr. Cameron over.
I have a girlfriend. I have a girlfriend.
I say, I have my girlfriend.
I have my girlfriend.
My girlfriend.
Which one?
I have my girlfriend.
How did it work out? How many people got married to a girl? I mean, and now when I say a girl or my girl, way, way different. Yes? Can you feel just one little change in your world, in your words, makes a huge difference in the way that you feel on the inside and the way that you show up in the relationship.
It makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
It affects a lot when you're with people, the way you talk, I guess, yeah.
And so you're back to you.
Well,
No, so the way that I speak.
the way that I speak, I figure the words I use affect a lot, the person I talk to. Yeah.
Let's say the way I speak.
The way I speak.
So there's power. There's power
There's power
in the way I speak.
in the way that I speak.
Not that I speak. Notice how you change the word.
In the way that I speak,
No, notice how you added in that. There's power
there's
Say-
power
in the way I speak.
in the way that I speak.
Let's see, notice how he added to that.
In the way I speak,
Right. Say the way I speak.
the way I speak,
I say the way that I speak.
the way that I speak.
Can you feel the difference?
Yeah.
That I speak is a separation. So what I'm starting to do with you guys is I'm working with you on whatever your language pattern is going to reveal your sabotages just by the way that you speak. And somebody's going, that I speak, it's a disconnect between your words and your feelings. So whenever somebody desires to be really successful in a company or in life, in a relationship, if they're showing up going like, yeah, like she's a really cool girl and really like her and things could be pretty fun and all that mental stuff, right? They haven't come in from here. So whenever you do stuff and you bring your feeling world with you, man, that's when things really show up. You know, would you rather have somebody, if you have your own business, would you rather have somebody who knows how to do the business and doesn't really have their heart in it, or would you rather have somebody who really comes on board with their heart and you can teach them how to do the business?
Second.
Even like anybody sees professional sports, I mean, people who play for the money, right? People who play with heart, oh my God, right? Heart means a lot, yo, brother.
Well, I just want to mention that, you know, in this company you can earn a Mercedes, and a lot of people are seeing it as an incentive that's out there, but they're not owning it as of yet, you know? And I think, I feel as we get to the point where it's like, that's my Mercedes. You know, I'm going to drive my Mercedes. You know, like to get into that possibility, it's,
Yeah. So
that's the biggest challenge for me, is to get people to see that it's possible for them. You know, because I see it's possible for me because it's happening already. Like, I don't have to have a real job, you know, like I have all these beautiful things going on, but a lot of people don't see the possibility.
yeah, and
It's a real career. It's a real job.
and instead of doing it for a Mercedes, because
Well, sure.
so let's instead of like doing it for a Mercedes or something, if you're doing it for anything for something out here on the outer, then at some point in time, what happens is you burn out your adrenals. Just my adrenal points right here. But if you're starting to do anything for somebody other than you, eventually it's going to burn out your adrenals. So for whatever people watching or in the group here, I say I can do this.
I can do this.
For me, I can show up. Say it again. Say it again.
For me.
I can show up for me.
I can show up.
Now, see, that's the first step. The I can show up for me is the first step, right? Now you can upgrade that to I show up for me. Can you feel something happen in your body if you start to do this? Yes or no?
Direct.
The air feels sweeter.
What's that again?
The air feels sweeter.
I mean, what kind of body sensations are going on?
Really
Confidence.
What's that again?
Confidence.
Cool.
reassuring.
Whose confidence?
Mine.
No, don't put both words together. See, his sabotaging pattern is going to go confidence, nothing happens. And then I go, whose confidence? Mine. Still nothing happens.
My confidence.
Say it again.
My confidence.
Say it again.
My confidence.
Say it again.
My confidence.
My own confidence.
My own confidence.
Say it again.
My own confidence.
Say it again.
My own confidence.
And I will work with him until his voice changes. It's going to create a, yeah, notice how his voice is starting to come in forward. My own confidence.
My own confidence.
My own powerful confidence.
My own powerful confidence.
Say it again.
My own powerful confidence.
Say it again. And go like Mark Martinez over here, like getting all that up.
Yes.
And what's happening inside your body, brother?
I guess the feeling of confidence.
Yeah. What else?
Extended possibility.
Where's the warmth?
Oh, I guess in my belly.
Yeah, cool. What else?
I guess it's like a right here, like a
You feel this?
yeah.
Cool. What's happening up there?
This.
Yeah.
Yes.
Anybody else feel what's going on with that? Mhm. So there's a study out that they've proven that when you're in complaint, it destroys your neurological transmitters. So complaining actually dumbs you down. So if you're in anxiety and you're complaining about being in anxiety, it's going to dumb you down, dumb you down, dumb you down. Now, the opposite of complaining is being in gratitude and enthusiasm. So if you're in gratitude and enthusiasm, what happens is your neurological transmitters start to fire differently. You start building new pathways, and it actually increases your intelligence. So you get to activate your own genius. Or instead of activate it, how about remember it?
Yeah.
I can remember.
Amplify.
I can remember
I can remember.
my own genius. And notice how everybody's doing repetitive body movements when we start talking about this. Martine's over here doing this. Linda's over here itching her arm. So how this stuff works, as soon as people start to feel and make a new decree for themselves, this is where the sacred body language translations come into place. And I can work with you on what your body's telling me to ask you the next question that's going to have you move up scale even faster. Cool, huh?
Yeah.
it's really
Very
cool.
cool.
See how doing something with your body is like distracting you from
With permission, Linda? Do I have permission?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Yes?
What?
Do I have permission to coach you?
Sure.
So that was, honey, will you marry me? Honey, she's cool. Okay, honey, will you marry me? Sure. Would that work for you guys?
What did he say? Honey,
Honey, will you marry me? Sure. And it's like, not so much.
Yeah, not so much. I'm already married. The law in this country says you can only have one husband at one time.
No, I mean, I'm just talking about the word sure. You
Oh, I
said
see.
sure and not yes.
Oh, yes.
So
Okay,
say
yes.
sure.
Yes,
Let's say sure.
sure,
Now say yes.
yes,
Feel the difference.
absolutely,
Yes.
yes.
So when she started touching her arm over here, is there something that you require to handle with a dude?
Pardon me?
Is there something that you require to handle with a dude?
Something on my plate that I need to handle with a dude?
Yeah, with a dude.
Yes.
And I'm just going to show you how specific that is for you to move up scale in enthusiasm.
Because I was right here, but you know what I was thinking? I was thinking that my arm gets a little fat right there and I was pushing the fat down.
Okay.
Isn't that weird? And then, but, I wonder what that means, really. If this is the male side, right?
Mhm.
And so since it's closest to my hand and I was rubbing right here, that means I need to,
Something
I'm
was
showing that I need to handle something.
what to do to move upscaling right through that.
I absolutely do.
So if you go do that, you'll have that 10x here. You'll have that 10x increase. And see which, and she goes, but I'm not gonna say it.
But
But she goes, I'm not gonna say it. What if you were doing, see what she was doing this?
did I do that?
Yes.
I did.
I mean,
Yes,
so
I
she,
wasn't
so it's something
planning to
she's been
say it.
handling, that she requires to handle, she's been holding back saying to a dude. And it was with the left hand, so this is a pattern for mom, yes or no?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh my God. That's amazing. Yeah.
Super fast.
Of
And
course,
it's
you're
not-
privy to
it's not even-
a little bit of information about my background.
I don't recall.
You don't even need that, yeah.
When I do a session, I purposely clean it. So whatever, we did one session or two,
One.
one session, whatever, that's gone.
Okay.
So
So he can't
Here's-
blackmail me.
here's how, so we have all this stuff works again. So the patterns of the emotional responses, like the habits that we're in, they can be not only something that we've taken on in this life, but they can also be patterns from your mom
Mhm.
that you took on from being in the lineage and having that in your DNA. But also you can have patterns based on your, different, not just your family, but also different lineage patterns. One of my clients is Chinese and female. So are women in China very respected?
No.
So she has that layer of suppression from the cultural history of her lineage. Now, in the scriptures, it's not religious, but there's like spiritual laws we're working with here. And there's a spiritual law that says your greatest weakness shall be your greatest strength. So whenever we took on a lineage or something in our family, we came down as that as a weakness to actually be able to take that and turn it into a strength. So for me, we're good, I believe. Had a speech impediment as a child, terrified to speak in front of groups. I couldn't say the word love 6 years ago. Could not say it. And now what I'm here for is get people back in touch with their feelings and get back in touch with love and get in front of groups. Super fun. And so each person's gonna have their own little layer of fear that they walk through. That's going to, or once they walk through that, they're gonna become this new, vibrant person. Like that fear will no longer hold them. They'll be able to come into a new, like incarnation beingness of themselves, and all their habits will change. And like you're talking about through the Moringa product, you can improve your nutrition, and you start feeling better. Maybe you might get a little more positive thinking and stuff. But this is going to take it to a whole nother level, like on steroids. Yes?
Yes.
Yeah. Questions, guys?
I have a question. Can we ask for a volunteer to maybe talk about what's been blocking them or what's in their way or what they feel their anxiety is around, sharing this movement? Because what happens is a lot of people love it, they want to share it, and they go out and they talk to a few people, and then someone will tell them, oh, is that one of those things? And then boom, they're blocked. Like, they hit like a wall because, there's dream stealers out there. People are going to steal your dreams. And, so are you willing to do that, Mark?
Yeah, I am. And so we can do it based on, I have 8 steps here of how to move through any blocked feeling. And it's what's cool with this particular system, once people experience it, they have a way of coaching themselves. You get to become your own coach. Like instead of going, I need another therapy session. Yes, you may have another coaching session, but it's kind of what I equate what I do is, you remember when you were learning how to ride a bike? Like you couldn't ride a bike, and all of a sudden, bam, you got how to ride a bike, right? And now you can still go back and learn how to get on a bike because it's in your body, yes? So what I do is I help people learn how to embody, let me see how to say this. There's a lot of things that I've heard over years, like one of the things I've heard were not our thoughts. How many people have heard that?
Oh, yeah.
Right. I've heard it thousands of times and intellectually knew it. Now, for me, I intellectually knew it, but I didn't have the experience in me. So once I started cleansing and I noticed my thoughts started changing, I started to using this conscious language tools. I noticed my thoughts started really, really changing, and I was becoming a new person. You know, like instead of speaking in front of a group and having somebody yelling in my ear, what are you saying? What are they going to think about you? Oh my God, is they going to do it right? Like all that stuff just went away. So what I do with people is I teach you how to embody those teachings. And then you got that inside you. Like all of a sudden you're going to start noticing whenever you speak how one word is going to do this to you, another word is going to do this. Yeah, it's an embodiment process. So imagine you learn how to ride a bike and people take off, they start doing stuff. Then they come back and do another session. They go, hey, I want to learn how to do a flip. I'm like, okay, cool. Now we're going to work on something bigger that's going to take you to a whole nother level. Now here's a tool on how to do a flip or how to another consciousness tool. And then go work on that and practice that one, embody that, and come back, oh, now we're going to do a flip and put a 360 in it. You know? So you start to master to greater and greater dexterity of what you're consciously creating in your life until it becomes a habitual way of being.
I like that.
Me too. I mean, like, God, I'm having so much fun with this stuff, guys.
I don't know if it's just me, but I feel like more energy around me now. I'm more like, yeah, just by the few words I actually said.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Can anybody feel movement in their skull?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So what I'm doing is kind of mess with you guys energetically. But you ever see, if you take tuning forks, like 2 tuning forks to C or whatever, you strike one and the other one starts to vibrate, right? So if I raise a frequency in the room, things start to happen because I'm striking a particular frequency in me that's going to start vibrating in you. You know, I was going, Robert was doing this stuff, and I was going, man, how's he doing that? But it's whatever frequency comes through you, it's going to start vibrating each person that same frequency. Things start to happen. Anybody, where are you feeling the pressure in your skull? Anybody?
Right here, but behind.
Yep. So you know, you ever heard the pineal gland?
See, so
Yep. So what is a pineal gland or pineal gland? What is it? What is it responsible for?
serotonin.
Dreaming?
It's a spirit eye.
What's that again?
Spirit eye.
Yeah, but what is it? You know, all of our feelings are actually hormonal, right? So whenever there's a feeling in our body, our endocrine system produces a certain chemical, and we recognize those chemicals as feelings, yes?
Yes.
Right. Now, I was talking to you guys a while ago about, who was a 9? 9.8, yes? So 9.8, but when you go to the other scale, that 9.8 is like a 0.98, right? So this is really start messing with people. So as you start moving up to this next level, your glands start to produce different chemistry. The pineal is responsible for imagination and enthusiasm. And the pineal starts to calcify on children when they're 3 years old. Most people's pineal is inactive. It's calcified. Huh?
Really?
Really?
Calcified is because of the diet and fluoride.
Actually, yes, and that's a blaming of it for something on an outer. It starts to happen when people start telling the child, no, you can't do that.
Oh, okay.
And the child starts to believe, no, they can't.
And then the child's biggest word is no all the time.
Right.
Yeah.
And you start to believe the word, no, you can't. No, you can't. And you see when I'm saying this, can you feel the contraction?
Yeah.
Can you feel the
It's
contraction?
like a little,
Yeah.
right there.
Can you feel your head just start to contract? And that's
So
what I say.
you're
Yeah.
your own like blockage.
Yeah.
Okay.
So when I started to mess with, put it out there, all of a sudden the pineal starts to activate again, and it almost can feel like a little bit of a pump going on.
Yeah.
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 So the more it pops, the higher and higher levels of enthusiasm you have in your life. So you go from, your box down here, what you saw your parents as, and my parents were like a 6. If I could just be a 10, that's going to be wonderful for me. That's still in that little box, right?
Mhm.
But if you go to the next, what we're really here for is go to the 10x box and the 100x box and the 1000x box. That's thriving. Yes?
Oh, yeah,
A squirrel.
And now feel this stuff happening again, yes? As soon as you start imagining that you can go to 1000x, things start to happen in your head.
Well, I feel that every time I ask my mind a question, it will always give me an answer, even if it might not be immediate. I still get an answer.
So, cool, from the mind. Now, how about your heart? How about your heart instead of your mind?
I haven't paid as much attention to that.
Okay. Say that again. Say what you just said. I don't pay much attention to what?
To how I feel this often as I would like.
Put your hands down.
I don't pay attention to how I feel this much as I would like.
Okay. Say it again.
Already kind of like, I don't pay as much as attention to how I feel as much as I would like.
Because.
Hang
on a second. So right now, I'm going to go in a little bit deeper with him. And for me to do that, there's no sympathy in the room. If anybody's going to take sympathy on him at any stage of what's going on, you can leave the room right now. Now, instead of doing sympathy, we're going to do a thing called voting victory. What's that again?
You want to put him sitting here?
No, it's up to you.
Well,
Cool.
it helps him to see him. You okay with sitting here?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So, voting victory. Understand? Anybody have kids? Everybody have kids? How about girlfriend? Sibling? You have a brother or somebody you really love? Who do you really love, dude?
Girlfriend, my best friend, parents.
Okay. So what's your best friend's name?
Donovan.
So Donovan. Donovan. I am your victory.
I am your victory.
Say it again.
I am your victory.
Say it again.
I am your victory.
Everybody, I am your victory.
I am your victory.
I am my own personal victory. If it was happening, yes?
Yeah.
So no sympathy, all victory, yes? Yes. Okay. So what were we talking about, dude?
Sometimes I don't feel my emotions as much as I would like to because I get entrapped in my own trains of thought.
So actually, that's what it got translated to, but we're actually talking about listening to your heart or listening to your head. So to say, sometimes I don't listen to my heart.
Sometimes I don't listen to my heart.
Say it again.
Sometimes I don't listen to my heart.
What's going on when you say that?
It feels weird. It feels like a pushback.
So what's happening emotionally, though? What do you feel?
It's almost like a repelling force.
Yeah, what emotion?
I'm not sure I don't have a word for it.
So I give me permission
Give me permission
to feel.
to feel.
Say it again.
Give me permission 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 to feel.
Right now, he's saying it to me. He hasn't touched it on me or yet.
I see. Give me permission to feel.
Eye contact.
Okay.
Now give me permission
Give me permission to feel.
to feel all my feelings.
Give me permission to feel all my feelings.
There you go. When did you first start shutting down? You remember when you shut down?
Yes.
Yeah. Me too. I remember the exact moment when I did it. And for me, I remember something was wrong. I just left my body, and I had a lot of punishment in my childhood. So for me, I armored up from the age of 12 or 13 to the age of 50. By the time I'm 50, I'm taking sleeping pills, stressed out, wore glasses, allergy medicine for 30-something years, all kind of stuff going on. And basically, when I was a kid, I quit calling my parents mom and dad when I was 12 or 13. And every time I would call them, by their name, they would go, oh, go get the belt. We're going to give you, you know, I'd go, okay. And I would like, whatever you do is not going to hurt me. So for me, I just armored up. That's what happened.
Well, I've had a similar story to what you just said.
So I'm going to do it without going in too deep.
Okay.
I'm going to show you how we're going to flip it. Cool, dude?
Mhm.
So pretend nothing changes.
Okay.
And that you stay in the same place and you stay not feeling for the next 2 years and not listening to your heart. What's new and different for you in 2 years?
What's no different?
Yeah, is anything different for you in 2 years if you stay in the same place?
No, everything would be different in the way that it wouldn't be where I would want to be.
Okay. Now, so now pretend that you get to show up with all your feelings. I get to show up. Say, I get to show up
I get to show up
with
with all
all
my feelings.
Say it again.
I get to show up with all my feelings.
Say it again.
I get to show up with all my feelings.
Say it again.
I get to show up with all my feelings.
Say it again.
I get to show up with all my
I
feelings.
say I show up.
I show up.
Say it again.
I show up with all my feelings.
Say it again.
I show up with all my feelings.
Okay. Now what happens for you in 2 years? Eye contact, brother. Eye contact.
What happens it feels like when I look away, it feels like I'm looking inside myself
Okay.
to look for my emotions.
So let me show you something. Look
Mhm.
away. Now make eye contact. Look away. Now make eye contact. Can you feel that's a trance?
Yes.
Now this is present, yes?
Okay.
Feel the difference?
Yes.
So your belief system's gonna try to have you look away and stay in a trance.
Interesting.
Yeah. I show up
I show up
with all of me.
with all of me.
Say it again.
I show up with all of me and all my feelings.
Oh, I show up with all of me.
I show up with all of me.
Say it again.
I show up with all of me.
Say it again.
I show up with all of me.
Now, when you show up with all of you, do you have any issues with money?
Nope.
What else? What else happens for you when you show up with all of you?
I see it, but it feels like it's far away. It feels almost like a cloudy vision.
Okay, so I show up with all of me,
I show up with all of me,
and I'm here,
and I am here,
and I stay.
and I stay.
Say it again. I'm here,
I am here,
and I stay.
and I stay.
And I show up with all of me.
I show up with all of you,
And I'm here,
and I'm here,
and I stay.
and I stay,
I stay.
and I stay.
I stay.
I stay.
Keep coming.
I show up with all of you.
I stay.
I stay.
Say it again.
I stay.
Say it again.
I stay.
Can you hear the question mark? Can you hear the question mark in it staying?
Yeah.
Stops.
You like sugar?
No.
Pasta?
Somewhat.
Alcohol?
Somewhat.
So that's the question mark on the stain is the toxins from the alcohol and the carbs. A little bit of voice of doubt.
Is that candida?
Candida. Little self-doubt.
Okay.
Yeah. With this particular system, I can hear people say 3 or 4 words sometimes and tell you what you're eating.
Wow, that's powerful.
And you can too. You can hear if you hear a question mark in somebody's voice, you can tell that what they're saying. They got a little voice of doubt coming on in their head. So that's how powerful that cleansing yourself is. If you got candida going on, man, cleanse that puppy out because it's going to create a voice of self-doubt. And then whenever you speak, instead of like, I stay, like, I stay.
I can feel the difference.
Yeah. So your choice. I stay. Or
I choose to stay.
I'll say it again.
I choose to stay
For who?
for myself.
Okay. I'll say myself.
Myself.
I'll say me.
Me.
And I'll say me.
Me.
Stay for me.
I stay for me.
And I'll say me.
Me.
Stay for me.
Stay for me.
Me stay for me.
Me stay for me.
Your subconscious is like a 3-year-old. So it may not be proper English, but Your me body's which we're going to make sure that stays here. When you show up with all your feeling world, miracles occur. Life gets easy because you align your thoughts, your words, and your feelings, and the universe responds to that. So, what's that again?
I said I can't wait.
Yeah. So then for you, if you say, I can't wait, a bunch more times, I have you say you'd be in tears. Because you would feel exactly what those words are doing to your body.
Okay, I'm looking forward to my future.
I already have my future.
I have my future.
I have my miracles.
I'm working on the way I think.
Okay. But now you see that's the old pattern just rebooted.
Yeah.
Fun, huh? So you got 8 steps here. And anybody who desires a handout, it has 8 steps of how to transform into situation. I'll go through them with you. Can you stay here? I'll work with you some more.
Just stay.
I stay.
I was gonna grab my coffee. Yeah.
All right. So I have 8 steps here of how to move from any stuck emotional pattern into action. First, make whatever you feel okay. If you have anxiety in your world, you make it wrong, it's going to keep getting bigger. You know, whatever, it's like going out and trying to fight darkness, right? Doesn't work. Make it okay, and then you can just say whatever's going on with me.
Whatever's going on with me.
And make sure you get your voice hooked up.
Whatever's going on with me.
It's okay.
It's okay. It's okay.
You feel like, as soon as you can make it okay, it takes the charge off.
I feel better.
Yeah, I mean, just from saying that, right?
Yeah. And
Okay.
some things when he was saying like negative, he was, like I just felt such a disconnection with him.
Yeah.
And then when he was saying things that are positive, I was feeling more tingly up here. It's like, well,
And say it's okay. Whatever's going on, it's okay. Whatever's going on,
Whatever's going on.
it's okay. Can you feel all of a sudden you get movement in your chest, more room to breathe? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Cool, huh?
Yeah.
When you're not okay with whatever's going on, your body goes into response to fight or flight. It goes into the sympathetic nervous system, which drops you down into your reactionary brain. And what we're going to do here is to get people into their body and go into parasympathetic, so your body can relax and you can make choices and bring all your feeling world with it. Cool.
Real cool.
Yeah. Second step is to get clear on what you're really feeling. If you're saying, I feel like there's a bear chasing me, is that a feeling?
Oh yeah.
No.
No. That's fight or flight.
What's that? I feel like there's a bear chasing me, is that a feeling? How about if I say I feel unhappy, is that a feeling?
Yes.
No.
Being happy.
Unhappy?
Oh, I'm happy. Okay.
Unhappy is what you don't feel. I mean, I feel not happy. Does that say anything? That's like me, where are you going today? Not Houston. Does that tell you where I'm going?
Yeah.
We'd like to eat, not a hamburger. Right? So you got to get really specific. And it says when you name, like I said, there's a lot of spiritual laws I'm working with, not religious, but spiritual laws. It says when you name something, you have power over it. But you got to name exactly what it is. The truth will set you free. Everybody heard that expression? So when you can find exactly what your truth is, what you're actually feeling, you're in, as soon as you can name it, you get into your moment of now and you can transform it. How are we on time, brother?
We're doing fine.
Where are we on time?
8:30.
So we got 30 minutes?
Sure.
Cool. Second, clear on what you feel. Make sure that you get feeling exactly what it is and find out where it came from. The third step is to get to the root cause by asking yourself more questions. I feel like I feel fear about calling Joe could be what you feel, right? And the third step is ask yourself more questions. I feel fear about calling Joe and go because you keep asking yourself questions until you come up with the root cause of what's going on. It may show out to where, well, I'm afraid that he's going to judge me. I'm afraid that he's going to reject me. I'm afraid he's going to get angry. And you find out where that root cause came from, when's the first time you felt that way, and where that pattern showed up in you. And as soon as you can heal the pattern, it no longer has hold of it. It no longer becomes your reactionary pattern. It's set aside. You have a new way of operating. Third step, the fourth step, is give yourself permission to make your own new conscious choice. That's what work with Martine over here. And give me permission to stay. So give me permission.
I give me permission
To stay. Fully stay.
Give me permission to fully stay.
Say it again.
I give me permission to fully stay.
You got more energy on that one than you got on any other ones. Yes?
Mm-hmm.
You're feeling more, yes?
Yep.
Now, with that one, so I stay was too big for him at that point. So I backed down to I give me permission to stay until he could say something that really resonated with him that created that he could do that. I give me permission to stay.
I give me permission to stay.
Yeah, cool. Something's happening now. Yes?
Yeah.
Okay. Now I can stay.
I can stay.
I say I stay.
I stay.
Now, feel the difference. Can you feel it when he says I stay now? You go back down to where it's going to become a truth that resonates, and then you build it back up. I stay.
I stay.
For who?
I stay for me.
Say it again.
I stay for me.
Say it again.
I stay for me.
Now, can you hear and feel him now, yes? Cool, huh?
Yep.
What's new and different in your life now that you stay for you in 2 years?
I feel presence with myself, which brings me joy.
I am present.
I am present.
With who?
With me.
Who else?
With my loved ones and my friends.
Who's your loved one?
My family.
Who's really your loved one? You have a beloved?
No.
In 2 years?
2 years?
I'm present
I am present
with my beloved,
with my beloved
and my beloved stays.
and my beloved stays.
Now we got some stuff over there.
Next.
Yeah. Cool.
Squeaky chair though. Squeaky chair.
Yeah. So you start to decree that, and what's cool is once you create that frequency, that feeling, you really have it now, it starts to show up in your life really, really quickly. I worked with a girl who's 27, and she was a virgin at the time. Longest she'd been in a relationship was like for 3 weeks, and we did a 2 hours, like a 2 or 3 hour session. I'm just working with her like this, and within 48 hours she met her beloved, and that was about 2 years ago. Now she's been married for about a year, and she just had her first baby. She met her beloved within 48 hours.
That's the power of positive thinking.
And
It's amazing.
speak, aligning your thoughts, your words, and your feelings consciously by your own internal compass, and you can tell when it shows up for you. And for me, every time I do this, my new level, it's visceral for me. Tears, hot, it's really, really hot. So, were you getting a little toasty over there?
A little bit. I've had different experiences where I was in alignment with what I was feeling and saying, and I've expressed it outwardly, even if it was just by myself in the car. Like I just feel those emotions that I'd get tingles all the way down my body. So,
Yeah, but this way, I'm playing pretty light in here.
yeah.
And whenever you start to really do this stuff, I mean, you're going to go into like a sweat. So whenever we suppress an emotional state, our body goes endothermic with the suppression.
Mm-hmm.
And when you speak it, and it can be even a cultural suppression. Different cultures have different suppressions. China, India, there's different conversational suppressions based on lineage, right? And those lineages, that cultural suppression is stored in the DNA. Now, when that releases, it's going to get really hot, and the DNA will actually start to change. We've kind of talked about all this stuff before. You're kind of hearing it differently now, yeah, deeper, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. And what's cool about this stuff is you know, I talk about bioopticalography. So when I work with people, everybody's eyes turn color. They get lighter and lighter and turn color over time. Pretty wild. All of a sudden, I mean, like nothing wrong with brown eyes or green eyes. It's like nothing one.
Is there like a way in which they move, like goes from like darker to lighter?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Specific sequence.
And more greater and greater octaves and octaves of expression, enthusiasm. It's cool, man. I love this stuff. And you and I haven't seen each other or seen this in a while. And bigger, yeah. Yeah. Whole nother gear coming in. Man, so fourth step is give yourself permission to make your new conscious choice. Give me permission to have my own goals with one of these, and then start naming what those are. And when you start doing these decrees, you may start bringing up emotion, but it's kind of like you ever like say oil and vinegar, like that separates. So when you start giving yourself permission to have your new goal, your own goals, like you know, say my own goals. I get to have my own goals. And you can say that a couple of times, it's going to start bringing in like enthusiasm, love, and power, right? Now what happens is that's coming in, but what's going to be leaving is all the reasons why, all the things you've been holding on to, have been holding places in your body. So maybe like sadness is going to start leaving. But it's going to be pushed up. If you go like, oh my God, I got all this sadness coming out, it's because something's returning and pushing it up.
That's awesome.
Yeah, cool. Like, oh, cool, sadness. So sad. if there's sadness coming in, who was that? You can smell, you can breathe in pain as if you're breathing a rose. That ring me? I'm not sure. You can smell pain, you can walk up to pain and breathe it in as if you're smelling a rose. And it has no hold on you anymore. It's okay, pain. Come on in. It's okay, sadness. Come on in. Because I'm going to love you just the way you are. It's going to turn into joy or whatever.
If you let it in, then it can go through you. You know,
actually,
it in front of you.
Actually, with this, instead of going through you, you're going to actually transmute it.
Ooh, I was just thinking that word. Wow.
Can you repeat that again for me?
Instead of like a lot of teachings will go, I need to let go of my anger. Well, you ever let go of a dog and it came back?
Yeah.
Right? So with this, it's not going to be like a letting go. It's going to be a transmutation of it.
Diffusing it.
What's that?
Diffusing it.
No.
Transforming
it. Anger, the only way people can feel anger is if they've given up their authority. And notice how whenever people say something, notice them when I'm talking to people and if everybody's going
they're agreeing?
The is actually your feeling world. So it's not like intellectually, she's actually feeling this inside of her. No mental construction trying to figure out. She's actually feeling her truth. Yes? Yeah.
Yeah.
And so your body knows the truth and you respond with them. Not like, oh yeah.
Yeah, me and my girlfriend just started communicating without words just because we've been talking about how words get in the way. And it's crazy how amazing the communication can be without words. You know.
So you use emoticons?
Well, sometimes, but no. We do that too, but no, mostly like on the phone, which is in person even more.
Yeah.
We'll just like moan and like have little, you know, like dialogues without words.
What radio is the show?
Tune in.
Yeah. Yeah, that's cool. And as we align the things I'm working with, to me, they're simple truths, and you can feel the truth in your body. It's not like you have to believe it. You know, we can. There's, somebody asked about, is this religious? No, you can have different religions in the room, and everybody can fight over their belief systems, right? You know, I believe my God's got this and your God's got that. We can fight over it for thousands of years. They've done it in the Middle East. But what I'm doing is like go inside your feeling world and, see, and feel if this just resonates for you as truth. So it takes the head and the belief systems out of it. Yes, we can do that, but it's not any fun for me. I'd much rather do the feeling world. Cool. Kind of fun, huh?
Yes.
You're like, what is this stuff?
Yeah.
Who's this old gray-headed guy? And then the fifth step is to make your upgrades continuous. So anybody ever ride a bike and like you go down a hill, like I'm gonna coast down the hill, but then there's another hill up here. So maybe you're going down a hill, like pedal your ass off, and you go up another hill faster too, right? But it's because things are going really well right now, and you go, I'm gonna go back to my old habits. What happens?
You get the same results again.
Yeah, you get the same results again. Like keep on and make a conscious choice to keep moving up scale.
I was talking about that with somebody else about the old habits. Like exactly. I realize every time like there's certain days that you talk about certain words more. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. For me, I used to get in the steam rooms and go detox, and now to go retox. You know, detox and retox. And I thought that was like a really cool way of life. Detox and retox, detox and retox. And then I got into this system about 6 years ago, and I was like, man, what happens if I keep detoxing?
That's right.
I mean, how good can it really get? So, you know, sometimes I work with people who have substance, whatever's going on. No, I don't work with people with substance issues. What I do is I work with people to raise their frequency to go from, you know, a 1x to a 10x to 100x. And as they go to a 10x or 100x, is drug abuse or anything even possible at 100x love?
Don't figure it affects you.
Like you can't, they're like, this just doesn't exist. I mean, all of a sudden the diet starts, their nutrition starts to change, their relationship change. Yeah, but it's just, you go upscale and all those habits go away. I remember thinking, oh, I'm gonna be giving up this, but there's no give up, because whatever I thought I was gonna have to give up, what I got in return was like exponentially greater than anything that I no longer do now. Cool. Sixth step is to identify your destination. So get really clear on your outcome. Imagine you already have what you desire. Say, I already have what I desire.
I already have what I desire.
There you go.
I already have what I desire.
In me.
I already have what I desire.
In me. And whenever
Me already has what me
slow down.
desires.
Yeah, slow down. Where did her eyes go?
What's it?
All right. So all mental.
Imagining.
No,
Yeah.
but that's made up here. Now, I imagine.
I imagine.
I feel.
I feel.
I already have what I desire.
I already have what I
Now,
desire.
where do you feel?
I feel it here.
Okay. Now, I get to have
I get to have
my own dream.
my own dream.
Now that I have.
My own dream.
So let me show you. Everybody look up and try to feel. Does it happen?
No.
Now look down and to the left.
Yeah. More.
Can you feel?
I feel like
Yeah.
something.
Down to the left.
Yeah.
You access your feelings by looking down and to the left. So whenever I work with somebody and I go, now that you have your beloved or whatever, and how do you feel? And if they're looking up, they haven't touched it. But when they look down and to the left is remembering a feeling, not creating one, but actually, if you look down and to the right, it's creating a feeling. Down and to the left is remembering a feeling. So when I'm working with somebody and they're imagining something that's happened to them 2 years from now, and they look down and to the left, that means they're remembering it and it's already happened.
Nice.
So you just say like positive, you could just look down to the right and say positive things to kind of shape.
When you can look down, when you can go into a future and remember the way that you feel, and the person was going to automatically go, oh yeah, they're going to be looking down to the right and actually accessing that feeling. That means it's already happened. There's no time. in quantum, spirituality and quantum physics are like virtually the same thing.
Yeah,
So we can remember our future as easy as we can remember our past.
yeah, just like reliving the moment when you get to it.
In the scripture that said, Christ gave thanks for the miracles he had not yet performed, for he knew that they would be there. I remember reading that when I was a kid, and I was going, how is he doing that? And I got in this system, I'm going, that's how you do it. This is cool. Fun.
We have 2 6 steps.
What's that again?
We have 2 6.
Oh, we do, don't we? That should be a 6 and a 7 and an 8. So I had 8 steps. So
Extra bonus.
yeah. 6 steps. The 7th step is take new actions. So if you go back and do the same actions again, you're going to reboot your old way of being. In fact, it's going to be even louder and louder than it was before if you go back and do the same things over and over. If you go, wow, in my future when I have my beloved, I am clean and I am sober and all that kind of stuff, right? And then you go back and you start doing all the same things again. What happens is the voice in your head come back 7 times stronger.
It's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Because I kind of equate waking up. Has anybody ever had their set on their foot or set on their leg and their legs asleep? And they're sitting down, they know your legs asleep, but getting up's gonna be a little painful, right? So we've kind of been sitting here, we've been asleep in our consciousness for a while. And so sometime when people start to wake up, it gets a little bit painful because you're going through, you're getting off the couch and instead of becoming an observer in your life, you're getting back up and getting back in the game. So it gets somebody a little painful. Oh God, I'm gonna go back into my, sit back on my foot again, but that ain't gonna work. At some point in time, you gotta get back up and hook up, not only your observer stuff, but also be a full participant in life.
Yeah.
And for you to really thrive in life, you require to participate in it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Powerful.
Yep. Fun, guys. And this is like the tip of the egg show, what we do. I mean, it's just way deeper.
I want to talk to you.
Cool.
I know.
Huh?
Wait, I gotta go. I have to go. So
Cool.
to work. So it was nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too, guys.
Peace, brother. Thank you for showing up.
The 7th step is the step of walking your new life, each goal and completed action you take solidifies you in your new life. These steps transform victimhood of life into conscious creation of life. Commit and put a date on the calendar for what by when. This step builds an information highway to your higher consciousness, and the inflow of information begins. And it says be in flow. So for me, I was terrified of speaking in front of groups. So what I did was I started putting dates on the calendar for dates that I was going to be delivering classes. And even though I didn't know what I was going to say in a class or how I was going to do it, I just started putting dates on the calendar. And as soon as I put dates on the calendar, I started getting information coming in. And somebody would go, what class? I go, can I do a class at your studio? And they go, yeah, what class would you like to have? And they would come up with a name, like just would pop out, something I never had written a class on. And then I would like I said, I would put that date on the calendar, I would start getting information in, and I could sit down and write the class in an hour or two. Like it just flow right through me. Super fun.
Yeah, and Tommy sent something today. Tommy Chapa is one of our support team, a great guy, comes to Houston to help us out. But he said today on a text message, the biggest thing separating people from their ambitions is not a lack of talent, it's the lack of a deadline.
Yep.
You know, and it's really true. And as a team, as we set goals for our rank advancements, for our, how many people we've shared it with, whatever goal and target we set, when we voice it, especially to other team members, because we're all working together on the same goal, it makes it so much more easily attained. Like it's just way more powerful to put a date on it.
Yeah.
Because I think people don't realize when you voice it and you tell it to other people, the universe can help you in ways that you have no idea until you start setting those.
Yeah, I agree with that to an extent if you're sharing it with your team. But if you go, I'm going to have a Mercedes in 6 months, then if you, I'll share it from me. So whenever I started to come to Houston and going to lead classes here, what I told friend of mine, I'm coming to Houston Elite class, and she goes, Houston's not ready for this. You know, like, okay, don't they know how much I'm going to put myself out here to leave this class? Oh my God. You know, that's not really my friend because they're not sharing with me, like helping me with that. And when I realized that was my doubt speaking to me through their mouth.
Mm-hmm.
So whenever if you have doubt and you share something from doubt, from a layer of doubt inside you, then the world's going to reflect that back to yourself. So yes, with your team, that maybe help you hold it accountable, but you don't go spread it to everybody. Be really quiet. Like that's your baby that you're birthing, your creation.
What if you want to see what your doubts are?
What's that again?
Well, I mean, it's a good way to find out what your doubts are. Spread it to everyone, and if anyone throws a doubt, you're like, oh, that's my doubt. Now I know what to deal with.
There's a Saint Germain says great things are done in secret. To dare, to do, and to be silent. So yeah, share with your team, but don't. You have people who are like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. I mean, it's like letting the lid off the pot.
Yeah, there's people that talk about it, and there's people that do it.
Yeah,
I got you.
So hold it in. Get your momentum built. Hold that energy.
Unless you're doing the cleanse, hold it in.
Yeah. There's a a lot of what I do is with language. There's which language? Oh, the Finnish language is a present tense language. So the Finnish, everything that they speak is in present tense. So in other words, they don't say, I'm going to save money tomorrow. I'm going to eat healthy tomorrow. If translating into English, they would go, I eat healthy yesterday. I eat healthy today. I eat healthy tomorrow. I eat healthy. It's present tense the whole way through. I saved money yesterday. I saved money today. I saved money tomorrow. What they found is people who speak the Finnish language, they have a 60 to 80% better, actually 70% better ratio to health than we do here, and a 70% better ratio to savings than we do here. If you go, I saved money yesterday, I saved money today, I saved money tomorrow, or you go, I'm going to save money. You feel how that lets the steam off.
Yeah. So you're like in a state of always preparing to do that.
Yeah, always preparing to do that. Right. I'm going to do that one day.
Why not do it now?
Yeah.
In the now moment.
I save money. I have fun. I'm going to have fun when I have enough money.
Just keep going out the equation.
Yeah, and I have a good example of that. I quit engineering about 5 years ago, and I've been saying my internal dialogue for 5 years is I'm going to be wealthy in 2 to 3 months. So I've been pushing. I've been pushing my wealth away because if the subconscious only understands the now, and I say it's coming, and it's like, oh, well, if it's coming, it's not here. Well, let me keep it from you then. Let me keep pushing it just out of your reach because you're not ready for it yet. You keep saying it's going to be here in 2 to 3 months. You're not owning it in the now. So
notice how when Joseph spoke, he spoke about himself as a you. And whenever if I'm speaking about myself and speaking as a you, it's a disconnect. So that's your glitch, dude. Instead of say you, I.
Right.
I stay. I own it now. I get to have my wealth. I already have my wealth, but you own it inside you right here, right now.
Nice.
Yeah. Cool. The 8th step is really cool. It's listed as a subject on here. But has anybody made a commitment and then broken it? Yes.
Yeah.
And then what happens?
You feel guilty.
You feel guilty. So there's a little magic word. It works every time. Ready for this magic word, guys? So everybody say oops.
Oops.
And I recommit.
And I recommit.
Feel how easy? Instead of like beating yourself up, say oops.
Oops. Oops rolls off your back.
Yeah.
Too bad.
Yeah. Oops. And I recommit. I'm back on track. I recommit, and I whatever. I save money again. I do whatever. I eat healthy again. Oops. Oops. I recommit to my own sobriety. So you just be easy on yourself, make the quick course change, and make it really, really fun and easy.
Will you put am? So I am saving money. Is that what is
Anything
that?
with an ing is a process.
So I am is a process.
No. Saving anything with an ing. saving is a process.
Oh, I see.
I saved.
IMC. No, so I saved.
I saved.
Okay.
So I am cleaning is you're in the process.
Oh my God,
What
that's
if I say I
crazy.
clean?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Your confirmation on the love right now.
Cool. And if anybody's having issues with money, it's never about money. Ever, ever, ever about money. It's always about self-worth and self-value. If you don't value yourself, you'll never have money, even if you win the lottery. It'll be gone.
Okay.
So me value me.
Value me.
And even like saying that, can anybody feel something happening? Me value me.
Me value me.
Value me.
What's that again?
Or is it value me?
I am valuable. I am valued.
I am valued.
And so you start owning that, and then it changes your frequency with money. But you get to have your own value inside you.
So I am prosperous. I am abundance.
Okay.
I prospered.
I am love.
Say it again.
I am love.
Say it again.
I am love.
Say it again.
I am love. It's
That's
like,
how.
every time I say it, the room gets brighter, brighter.
Yeah. But I am love.
I'm what?
I am love.
I am love.
And I am loved.
And I am loved.
Say it again.
I am love and I am loved.
Say it again.
Oh wow. I am love. I am loved.
Say it again.
I am love. I am loved.
And my love stays.
And my love stays.
Everybody hear the crackle? Your crackle in his voice? So the crackle is when you get ready to jump from one octave to another. And that's the crackle. As soon as he goes into the next octave, his voice will get full, and he'll go into the next octave. So he's right in between right now.
So you get, like, when you're saying going.
Remember like the 1 to 10 octave? And then the next one's gonna be a 1 to 10, but it's gonna be 10 times greater than this octave down here.
Oh wow.
So the crackle is the bounce back and forth going through that little veil.
Okay.
And as soon as you jump through that veil, voice comes in fuller and more he shows up. And you can actually, everybody have a voice spectrum analysis done, where they'll do a voice spectrum analysis, and they can tell what's going on with you and add a frequency or whatever. But it's,
You
with
can tell
this,
someone's lying through the voice.
yeah, right. But this is gonna be like all of a sudden you'll come in deeper and deeper. For me, I remember years ago when I would listen to myself on the recorder, I'd go, oh man, it's like a tin can, you know? And now I heard some recordings like, how is it? Like way different guy. Way different. Because I could hear going back and listening to that old recordings, I could hear I was speaking through fear and doubt. So like those things were grating on me. Wow. And whenever somebody's speaking like intellectually, you got to really strain to hear them, right? But when somebody's speaking from here, can you feel?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It seems foggy when it's talking intellectually. Like.
Different.
It's more of ideas.
And for me, I was when I was 13 years old, I saw Star Trek. You might know what a Vulcan is. So from the age of 13 to the age of 50, I was a Vulcan. Trying my best to go logical, no emotion, no enthusiasm, and just robot. Suppress, 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 suppress. So I'm here exactly for the opposite of that. Anyway, fun guys. Thank you.
She's fired up. All right, guys.
She agrees.
So
He agrees. Sorry.
for you guys watching at home or on the YouTube video, you can find our group on Facebook at Moringa Masters. Moringa Mastery. Sorry, we are masters of Moringa, but Moringa Mastery. Please get with the person that sent you to this video to find out how to get some Moringa products at wholesale pricing. We don't sell to our friends at retail. Everyone gets wholesale. This is basically just a wholesale membership, and we have a super fun tribe. Lots of energy workers and holistic practitioners and healers, and we'd love to have you on board, even if it's just to try the products. But if you want to share, and create wealth with us and build communities. Let's do this. Namaste, y'all. Peace.